gonna try. Just the beam in the track.
Welcome to a marvellous Monday.
Well, I thought we could come up with a new catchphrase. I don't know if it's already taken. We could have something like "Let's chat" and all that. Put it on a t-shirt. But let's get down to it. We have got the panel back today because we are going to discuss. I don't know which way it's going to go. After last week, I don't know which way it's going to go, but we are going to be discussing Derren Brown's Ghost Train and Rameses Revenge. So first, we have got the Trekking Tailors. First, we got Sarah, who's at Chessington.
Hello.
How's the hotel?
Good. I've just been to see the animals. They're all good.
Do they have capybaras?
I think they do, but they weren't in the bit I could get to.
Oh.
Next, we've got James.
Hello.
Who's on a different feed tonight. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm all by myself up here in Stoke. And when Sarah said she'd just been to see the animals, I thought she meant she checked in on me. So I was thinking, that's nice. Yeah.
And next, we've got
Ella
from Thrillwave.
Hello, how are you?
How you doing? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we've got Thorpe Park ride tonight, so you should be able to represent.
Well, don't know about that.
And next we got from Theme Park Escape, it's David Blythe. How you doing, David?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Right out on Valhalla at the weekend.
How wet did you get?
Quite wet, quite moist.
And last we've got, talking about moist, the king of, or the biggest fan of water rides, shall I say, Daryl Dazza Morgan. How you doing, Daryl?
Hello, how are we? Sorry, been having so many issues with my laptop, technical issues. I do apologise.
Well, if you get disconnected, you can always just reconnect again. So, I used to have started with the top left or the bottom right before. I'm going to start because she probably knows more about the Thorpe Park than anyone. Talking about the Ghost Train with Ella. So, do you want to? I don't know. Do you want to defend it? Do you want to put it down?
I'm going to put it out here. I'm not going to defend this ride at all. I think it's awful. I remember when when I was starting the season, they kind of got us all into a room. They said, we've got to sign all these, NDAs and say, well, you can't say anything. They told us what the ride was, said it was going to be this incredible thing. We went through the staff preview. Honestly, I think it's the re-rideability that lets it down. Like once you've done it once, there's not really anything more that kind of has going to it. And even Derren Brown himself didn't like it, had a go at the person from SimWorks right in front of us. So
wasn't it nothing like what he agreed to or something like that?
No, yeah. So I don't know what his original kind of thoughts were that it was going to be, but he just was not happy. I think it's really cool. It's definitely got some cool technology, and I think it has some bits. As a dark ride, it's got some incredible bits and pieces. But I just think once you've done it once or twice, you can't really do it again. So I think that's where it gets let down.
What did you think about the not re-theme, but they did it over, didn't they, with the what was it? I've got a photo of the demon, Rise of the Demon. That changed much for you?
I mean, I'm trying to think what they actually added. So they obviously added the shop at the end. Yeah, it was the shop at the end, which again, like just a nice little additional bit. It's always nice to see people, see them improving rides as they go ahead. But again, I just think it was just something else, just kind of prolong the inevitable that it eventually would just go. And I mean, it has gone now, so didn't last very long.
Just want to answer Joe, I have got some photos coming up, Joe. I will explain how the ride works, so don't worry. I'm going to show the illusion as well, so don't worry. That's coming up. That's the hook.
Ooh.
But I don't know who else has ridden it, or has anyone else got? James and Sarah, have you got any opinions on it?
I've never ridden it, so I didn't ride it. Any kind of opinion.
I've not ridden it, but I have seen the POV, and I thought at the beginning it was going to be really good, and then it didn't quite turn out to be really good, did it?
No. Go on.
I know. I'm gonna ask David and Daryl, and then I'm gonna go through these photos of how the ride actually worked for anyone who doesn't know how it worked. So, David, what are your opinions on the Ghost Train?
Well, in its defence, to be fair, it's well themed and well thought out, but I think it was a bit before its times. It was never very reliable. It seemed to overheat. It seemed to be broken VR. Lots of different faults. with it. I saw it being built, and I saw the train outside and that Northeastern Railways carriage, and I thought it looked really authentic. But it was a lot of money for something I think Thorpe could have spent it on something else.
It was the biggest investment up to that point, apparently. Yeah.
And I do agree with what Ella says. I think it's like watching a movie. It's you've done it when you've done it once, you sort of know what the story is, and you know what to expect. And then that middle scene where the tube train sort of crashed into you, they replaced it with this silly maze, and they were getting you to pick numbers to make a code and gimmicky things that they seem to add later on. I just think it had a lot of potential, but it never really lived up to it, and it was too unreliable ultimately.
Yeah, Ben and Holly say the same thing in chat.
Yeah.
So with we saying if you did it once or twice, you'd always done it. Does that mean even though it was VR, it was always the same story? They didn't kind of add different stories.
Well, see, I heard there was going to put a few different stories in, but apart from the actor, I think there was a female one and a male one.
Yeah.
It was basically the same story, and to be honest, the VR half the time didn't work anyway.
Yeah, I actually, when I saw that POV, I actually thought the actor, or both of them, were the worst part. I thought, why are they in there? They had all this technology. All of a sudden, you had someone that had dreadful makeup on going, it's like, that's really upset me, that has. Whereas the VR part, where you first went on, you were sat on that train, and effectively you had like the shapes and the movements. I thought that would have been really good.
Apparently,
with actors.
Apparently, like I said, it did have different stories, but towards the end, they kind of just went for one.
And then Joe said that there was 3 characters, he thinks.
But I remember Dan Marks, who's been on the show before, said he used to just go on it and not wear the VR. Apparently, they didn't force you to wear it. So he just used to not wear the VR and watch these people run up and down the train, hitting people's legs. Daryl, did you have much of an opinion on it? Did you get to ride it?
Yeah, I did. I read it a few times actually. When it was the Rise of the Demons, not when it was first opened as just Derren Rail's Ghost Train. I think it opened the year later. I think as Rise of the Demons. I actually quite liked it. Actually, the VR always worked when I was on it. I liked the theming. I liked everything about it really. It was an impressive dark ride, really. The only downside, really, with the ride is that it kept breaking down all the time. And you were sat in the queue for ages, really. But as the attraction was sort of opening up and all that kind of thing, it was actually a really good dark ride. I really did enjoy it. It's just a shame now it's been replaced again, really. But
I think it was. Do you think it added anything that the story was relevant at the time? It was about fracking, and all those people were protesting in real life, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what. I mean, I didn't know the storyline that much, to be fair. All I knew is that it was to do with some person that does magic or something. I don't know the whole idea. Yeah.
I was actually.
I don't know. Yeah, well. But no, on the more serious note, I do think that the attraction did need a bit of work every year. Some of the actors didn't wear costumes on one year, if I remember. They were just wearing normal Thorpe Park fleeces and t-shirts and that sort of stuff, and saying go, 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 all that kind of thing.
Stealth stuff.
It's like what Joe's got it on here saying my bugbear is that the actors were telling you to escape, but for the health and safety had to say, don't run.
Don't run. Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, I did like it actually. It's just a shame, really, that it had a few issues when it first started, and obviously the costume issues. But overall, though, the theming and the storyline and I just liked it really. It's just a shame that that's do a pre-book ticket thing now for the last few years, really.
I think one of your fans is here as well.
Yeah.
I posted Daryl shouting your name, Daryl. So I've got some photos here for people that don't know how it worked or never got to ride it. So New Ghost Train. I'm not sure if the New Ghost Train is going to be a bit like the Curse, where a lot of it's just repurposed and you can kind of see. I don't know if that's going to be the case. But some of these photos aren't from James, but I'll put the links in the description, and there should be some stuff written at the bottom as well. I'm going to show. Right, this is kind of what it looked like, but it was like a more modern train on the inside.
Yeah.
Then this is a blueprint of that red rectangle in the middle is the train, and so obviously there was a train inside a train. The red bit didn't actually go anywhere. I tried to get it in that image there, but essentially that yellow rectangle comes out of the red one and goes to this side bit where the show in the middle takes place, and then it transfers to the other grey. I've not actually explained this very well, probably, but the grey bits in the station, in that yellow bit, where it's hard to explain now.
Yeah.
I've lost everyone, but basically, you can see there's two bits. There's a bit where that yellow train's going in. It transfers to the other one while you're in the showroom, I say, and then it comes out the other one. And
so does the red one stay stationary?
Yeah, the red is the outside. It's the Victorian looking thing.
And then there's
a train in a train.
Yeah.
Basically. But you've got the VR on, so.
Okay.
And then I tried to get this. I don't know if it's big enough. This sort of shows the mirrors because it looked like it was suspended, but there was a load of mirrors underneath and to the side of it to hide all the track for the actual ride.
Make it look levitating.
Yeah, like iPost says, it was actually quite advanced for its time, and that's probably why it. Yeah, there isn't anything else like it.
It's something on a big scale as well. It's not. Yeah, it's quite.
Well,
impressive.
it was the biggest investment at the time, and you've got to remember Swarm had already been built by then, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Rameses Revenge. Did Darren want to go first because he's a water ride aficionado?
You're going to be shocked at this. I've never ridden it.
Oh,
what?
Did you ever ride Ripsaw?
No, because Ripsaw closed in 2015, and I was going to ride it. And then Rameses Revenge closed, I think 2018, is it? Or 19 or something like that?
So shocked.
So yeah, I never got to ride them, which is a shame, because I would have enjoyed them.
Just to say, Joe's arrived, everyone. So say later.
Right, Joe.
Joe, have you got anything to say about Ghost Train? Well, we've just come off it, so if you want to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, just what I said there in the chat, really, that I think Merlin and their relationship with year-long actors, where they need to have actors, maintaining a ride for the whole year, it just doesn't work for me. They get people in specially to do the Halloween events, so it's great, but for the rest of the year, it's just a bit naff, I think. But everyone's right. It was ahead of its time. The concept was cool. The actual, when you got inside the train, it looked awesome. It looked just like an underground train. But yeah, it's just the acting thing for me mainly. Yeah.
So, Daryl, sorry, I cut you off a bit there. Have you got more to say about... Well, have you got anything you want to say about Rameses Revenge from what you've seen?
It looked amazing. You do get soaked on it, I know that for sure. But the thing that worried me is that horrible metal sort of turning. As it was turning, it was making that horrible sound, like
the friction sound.
Yeah, friction sound. Yeah. That was the only thing that really sort of made me worry about it. But it's just a shame I didn't ride any of them really. But no, I mean, I did like the sort of theming around it again, and it looks a really good water ride, really.
I think we need to bring back Ripsaw, but yes, Coasting with the Joneses, it's very similar. Well, it is
I just
the
want to
same
say,
practically, isn't
iCoaster
it?
says Derren Brown could have been a B&M dive. I don't know if he's drunk tonight. He misses Ripsaw. No, it makes him miss Ripsaw, and then he's commented he really misses it. So, David, did you ever get a chance to ride Rameses Revenge?
Yes, I did. I thought it was quite a good ride. I think top spins can be quite good fun, and the water and effects as well. I do feel it was on its last legs and it did probably need to go and be replaced. I think it was pretty much worn out by the end. But yeah, I used to quite enjoy it. Thought it was quite good fun. And I don't think we've got anything really much like it in the UK now.
Ooh,
But Ben
good
thinks
question.
that it had the fire service cart the riders to evacuate them at one point. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if anyone knows that's true.
I recall hearing something like that. I don't know if they need to get cut out, but they were stuck in it for quite a while.
Yeah,
That's not
I heard it for quite a while, but not about the whole cutting out.
So I'll put that photo there. It goes with the Coastman the Joneses comment about the old queuing system, because it actually went up and around the top floors of the actual buildings in the air. It was quite decent. It was sort of out of the way, but not. What did Joe and Ella think about Rameses Revenge? Did you get a chance to ride it?
Yeah, I used to love it. I really did. I think Croc Drop looks better where it is, where it is in Chessington now. But I think it was a fun ride. It was that 1.4 ride at Chessington. So obviously, if you went with, because I have younger siblings, you go to Chessington. As much as I love them, you do get a little bit bored of the smaller rides. It kind of had like a little additional thing there for older people to do. And I think it was a really cool ride. I agree with them, David, that I think it was definitely on its last legs, but I think it was definitely a cool experience, and top spins are good fun.
Yeah, it was overwhelmingly uncomfortable.
It was,
nowhere near Ripsaw, nowhere near any other top spin I've been on. Rameses Revenge was just awful. If you were over, I think 6 foot, it was basically unrideable. It was terrible.
So it was fine for both of us.
Yeah, we were children when we went, so it was okay. I mean, even now, I'm talking like I'm 6 foot now. I'm not. The thing for me, I love top spins. I think it's such a shame we don't have them anymore, because I love the theatre around them. So you can see on Rameses Revenge, you used to have it with Ripsaw, you have it with Talakan in Phantasialand. Everyone sort of watches. So you've got the queue, and then you've got everyone watching you go round and over and over. And it's just great fun. I really miss them. I wish we had more. A top spin in this country. I don't think we have any now. Like David said.
No,
My coach says you're both bang on as well.
Oh, is there one at whereabouts, David?
I believe there's a travelling fair one, but
right.
Definitely not any at theme parks, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Before I go on to the Taylors, I'll ask Joe and Ella, because I get the impression you probably went to Chessington a lot when you were younger, maybe. When I was younger, I know Vampire's always been there. I know they had Samurai. But to me, whenever friends would talk about Chessington, Rameses Revenge was like the nemesis of Chessington. That was the one ride that people always mention first. And I don't know if you feel the same.
Yeah, because I think it's like the kind of like big boy ride of the park. You've got you had Beano Land, which at the time was really good fun. I think Dragon's Fury was 2004, I want to say, or 5. But yeah, no, if you could do Rameses Revenge, you were like the coolest kid in the playground. That was it.
Yeah.
It was a white knuckle ride.
And like Ella said, it was the 1. So I think Rattlesnake is also 1.4 meters, but that's just a really uncomfortable wild mouse type thing. But Rameses Revenge, it was like the gold standard for Chessington. And I remember building up to it. I'd heard loads of rumors at school that some friends had gone on it and they got stuck hanging upside down. The water was on their face and they nearly drowned and all this stuff. Obviously, it never happened. There's so many stories.
It was like waterboarding, though, the way they did some of those cycles.
It was great. And there was, because it had quite a few different cycles, as all top spins do. And there was one that you could ask for and it would get you really, really wet on a hot day. So it was a good ride. It was a well thought out ride, I think. Yeah.
So James, have you got any? I don't know if you've ridden Rameses.
So
Revenge.
I didn't ride Rameses Revenge. I do remember riding Ripsaw, which is pretty much exactly the same ride. And I'm going to tell you, I find these boring. It's just like, oh, great, spinning me around, awesome. The best part is the water. Without the water, especially as a spectator. Water spectator is the best part. The ride itself, to me, is just boring. It's just like, all right, you're spinning me around and you're spinning me around, and what else are we doing? Oh, we're just getting spun around, are we?
He's to the point, to be fair.
Yeah, I sort of get it. I get it. I understand.
As a ride, it's just like it does nothing else for me.
Yeah.
The water as a spectator, I do remember. You'd always be laughing or smiling if they really absolutely soaked people and made the ride go so slow. The slower it went through that water, the better the crowd liked it. It was like a sort of gladiator spectator sport at that point.
Yeah.
Hush, hush, family.
So, Sarah, have you got any opinion? Have you ridden it? Or
I
have you got
have
anything?
ridden it. I have when the kids were little. I'm not a big fan of water rides though, so it would not be my ride of choice. Because we don't have the weather for water rides in this country, do we? And who wants to be walking around soaked all day as an adult? I'm with James. There's no story to it. There's no anticipation to it. The best part is standing and watching.
Yeah. As a spectator ride, awesome.
Yeah. Do you know if that one, the jets could be adjusted? Because Ripsaw, the operator, could adjust the jets. So if it was a cold day, you wouldn't get wet. And if
Actually, yeah, 'cause sometimes it wouldn't. Yeah, sometimes the water wouldn't reach the people riding it. So I think that might have been.
I don't know if that was part of the set systems though. Whether the spinning system was in sync with the fountains, whether it was like a pattern or whatever.
I seem to remember every time I went, at least, whether you wanted to or not, you got 2 cycles because they got you soaked, and then they gave you another cycle, the spin cycle that was meant to dry you, really dry you, but you spun loads more.
Oh my gosh, hush, hush, family. Funk and Fly or Ripsaw?
Funk and Fly is not the function, so we won't talk about it.
I was like, we're not quite there yet.
Hush Hush family wasn't happy that there are people that don't like that type of ride.
Ripsaw hater. Long love Ripsaw.
So
it's a bit of a fairground. It's a bit of a fairground ride.
So what I'm going to do, everyone is watching. If you've got any comments that you think might convince the panel one way or the other before we get to the vote, put it in the chat, and I'll try and put it forward to them. But I don't know if any of you have want to convince any of the panel, want to put anything forward about one or the other.
If Derren Brown's Ghost Train, if the technology worked and it worked consistently, would you still have the same opinion on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think it was so underwhelming. It was just, I don't know.
The only problem.
Top's been underwhelming though.
No, it's Topspin's a classic, and let's just look. The Rameses Revenge was open for 15 years?
I have no idea.
Probably
Maybe
longer.
more, yeah.
Derren Brown didn't even make 5.
That's because it had actors in it though. I think like with Saw Alive, they realised. I can't remember what the figures were, but I heard that Saw Alive cost a lot more to run than an actual roller coaster because of the staff costs.
So I've got to ask with the Ghost Train one, the POVs that I watched seem to be minus any ghosts whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no ghosts. Actually, that's a very good point.
Which is probably why they had to change it to Rise of the Demon.
Yeah, because I must admit, when I saw it also was known as Rise of the Demon, I thought, have I been watching the wrong version? But I thought, no, I definitely know I've watched that it said, the Ghost Train. And all the way through, I thought, the reason why I really dislike that ride is, where are the ghosts? Yeah. I don't want a zombie actor, that's boring. And then right at the end, seems to be some sort of, I presume, a demon or some sort of alien that kind of comes and gets people. I'm thinking, there's no ghosts, and ghosts have a certain way of treating people, as it were.
Yeah, I think it's a classic case of Merlin just not being upfront about. They do it so many times. There's so many times in their marketing where they've amped something up to make it more scary or made people think it's going to be one thing and it's not. And this is just a classic case for me. I
was just going to make just quickly one more point just about Rameses Revenge and Ghost Train. If Rameses Revenge is at least a spectator thing, the people watching it and the people on it can have fun. Whereas Derren Brown, the people on it are having fun and the people outside are just looking at a building. So,
and the actors definitely weren't having fun either.
So, no, I noticed that a lot of the time as well. A lot of the actors looked quite bored when I was on it sometimes.
Do you think Ghost Train would have been better as a seasonal Scarefest one-off?
I mean, I would say maybe, but then it would just end up like Saw Alive, which I think has now been. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I don't believe that. I think it should have kept open, but over Halloween, make it even scarier. Put Halloween theming in it or something like that. But apparently, they didn't even do that over Halloween.
I think if you rephrase that without the word even, so just scarier, that would do us.
Yeah.
It's hard to see it from a park point of view, because The only reason why Rameses Revenge went was because of the parts. Like getting the parts for them, wasn't it? Is
I'm
that
not
right?
sure. I don't know for sure.
Oh, and then the other one is basically just maintaining and changing and just like the actors and everything. It seems a lot more investment in the Ghost Train than it would be in Rameses Revenge.
I just want to play devil's
in
advocate.
my eyes, but I don't know.
I want to play devil's advocate.
Both of them are a lot of money.
I don't know. Was there actually any models of Rameses near Rameses Revenge? You know, he was making the point about no ghosts in the Ghost Train.
Oh, well, it was weird because obviously you have Tomb Blaster right next to... Tomb Blaster is literally right next door. And they did have a little chicken place. I can't remember what it's called. It was called like Pharaoh's Chicken or something. So back in the day, that whole area was themed, as it still is, I think.
Sort of, yeah.
Egyptian.
Because Croc Drop is like
Croc Drop's like like the
type
River Nile. There's like a curse, the Croc Drop curse, whatever it's called. So yeah, the theming was all right. I mean, as much as you can, you know, correlate a ride that spins like that with an Egyptian pharaoh, I guess it was fine.
Would you say it's again, and James said it about last week, would you say again it's theming versus thrill this week?
A question.
Only if the theming works, and if the ghost thing doesn't work, then it's not themed, is it?
Yeah, I think this is more an argument over classic format, you know, something like a top spin, been around for years, and something completely new, completely modern. You know, that's great, it's groundbreaking, but if you're not going to do it right, people are going to remember it for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I think this is a case of disappointment versus disappointment.
I was going to say, it just seems like everyone's... I'm trying to put both points across before we vote, because I think there's good and bad in each.
I don't think either of these would beat some of the others that have already lost in the other rounds.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't been watching the series,
you are right on that one.
But you missed out.
I think so far I'd get happier memories out of one than the other, though.
Well, for anyone who didn't watch last week,
Thinking
Slammer beat
of
Pirate
it.
Adventure.
You
That
did.
was the shocker of the series so far. I think.
That was a shocker.
So
I feel sick thinking about that one. Ugh.
I'll start with.
Don't start with us.
I'll go Joe and Ella, then I'll go David, then I'll go Daryl, and then I'll go the Taylors. So Joe, do you want to go first?
Yeah,
talk through your vote?
Yeah, it's got to be Rameses Revenge. Like I said, as a kid, you know, growing up, it was the aspirational ride. When I did it, I thought it was brilliant. Loved getting wet. It was great on a summer's day. The whole spectator aspect of top spins, like, yeah, brilliant, classic.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rameses Revenge as well. It's just, I've got so many more childhood memories of it, and even, yeah, I think it's just a good ride.
Yes, and that's without even mentioning why Derren Brown is so bad, why that ride is bad. So I'm just taking the positives from Rameses Revenge because I could go on all day about why I think Ghost Train was and is a terrible idea. I'm excited to see what they do with it, but I think, yeah.
So,
Can I just say, Ryan from iCoaster, thank you so much for your enthusiasm through the whole of the chat, by the way. But yeah,
you did say earlier when you were talking about it, you were bang on
Joe.
about it. Throwaway was bang on.
Yeah.
So, David, do you want to talk us through what you've come up with? What's your...
Initially, I was quite excited before the Ghost Train opened, but when I saw it and realised how much money they'd spent on it and how much money they've carried on spending it, adjusting it and the rest of it, I think it's affected the development of Thorpe Park, and it's took so long since Swarm was built to get another coaster. I think the money could have been better spent on something else. And I think, other than the fact it looks quite nice to look at, it's not really rideable. So I think once you know the story, you know it. It's so unreliable. So no, I can't vote for that based on just those reasons. Rameses Revenge, I think I had a bit of a thrill factor to it. Yeah, you might get wet depending on where you sit. But I do feel it needed to go at the end. It was becoming quite unreliable. But I'm going to have to vote for that.
So, Daryl, are you going to talk us through your answer, your vote?
I'm going to act like Simon Cowell, like he is on The X Factor.
There we go.
Really.
Plug in IT.
I'm 50-50 at the moment still.
No pressure.
originally I was
You
gonna
might have to
vote
decide and
for-
vote.
Originally, I was going to vote for Derren Brown's Ghost Train because I like the theming and all that kind of thing, despite the actors and how poor it was all done. But hearing about Rameses Revenge, even though I've not done it, and it's a water ride, and you know me and my water rides, regardless if it's a log flume or a top spin or whatever, I do like my water rides. So I'm going to have to take it to deadlock, I think.
Oh,
Well, you're gonna have to vote for one. You're on the panel, Daryl. You've got to vote for one.
I know.
Take it to deadlock.
what about seeing what Sarah and I think? And then
Okay, I'll take it to James and Sarah. But I don't think it's going to be a deadlock by then.
And then come back to me because I might have to take it to
Yeah,
deadlock.
because there's even more pressure on you then, Daryl.
Just to go through the comments here, Coasting with the Joneses put Rameses Revenge for them. Well done. Ben and Holly's Theme Park Adventures. Quite surprised actually. Rameses Revenge for them.
Well,
as
let's cherish this moment because at the moment Ramses hasn't won yet. I remember last week everything shifted
I
and no
know.
one saw the end
It
coming.
may change, guys. So let's just.
Theme Park Eye here as well.
Here are the people. Yeah, Theme Park Eye, Rameses Revenge.
So James, do you want to go first then?
Yeah, so for me, like I say, it's disappointment versus disappointment. And if we're on about bringing one back, as Daryl loves water rides, I love ghost rides. So I'm afraid
There's no ghosts.
there are no ghosts. That is correct. But there's no pharaohs on the rotating piece of rubbish either. So for me, I'm afraid that I like being spooked, whether it's ghosts, demons, or zombies. I think it could have been so much better. The pre-show that I saw, it really got me interested. I was thinking where this is going. And when I saw the carriage that people walked into, I thought, this looks great. And then it went downhill. But on that basis, it's the Ghost Train that gets my vote.
Ghost Train's got a vote. Well, I just want to say we've slated the Ghost Train, but let's take into account the times when it did work. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate a bit.
It worked every time I did it. So,
But we'll ask Sarah. Sarah, what do you want to talk us through your vote?
I'm a bit torn, to be honest. I'm like Daryl, I haven't really got a decision. I think the potential for the Ghost Train, the idea and the potential theme of it is amazing. And if you could tweak it and, just make
That's what
everything
they're doing
work.
right now.
Yeah. So it's already won then, it's come back. But I don't like water rides in this country. But from a spectator point of view, Rameses wins. So I'm
Depends if you want to make Daryl's life hard.
Yeah.
You going Ramses?
Just from spectator's point of view, not actual ride.
What would you have voted for, Daryl? It's Ramses Revenge is going through, but Daryl, what would you have voted for?
I would have gone for Ghost Train.
It's easy to say that now.
Yeah, I would have gone for Ghost Train.
It's a 4-2 in the end. What would you have gone for?
For me, it's more the memory that goes with it. Unfortunately, I didn't go on Ghost Train, Derren Brown's Ghost
So
Train.
you would have voted for the other one?
I would have voted for Rameses Revenge.
I was going to... My opinion going into this, although I don't vote, I was like, I would go with Rameses Revenge, whatever. And then I was thinking about it, I was like, but I never got to do Derren Brown's Ghost Train, and some of it looks really good, some parts of it. And by the end of this, I'm thinking, if I had to at a push, I'd probably vote Derren Brown's Ghost Train.
Yeah.
But that's due to the conversation and bringing the photos up.
I think for me, it's the memories with Rameses Revenge because it was my first time at Chessington and I got to go on it with Mike, and we both had.
I'm making all the decisions.
We both had Ninja Turtle jackets.
Oh yeah, the varsity jackets.
Yeah.
We've still got those. Yeah.
And I'll have to try and put it on my my page, or I'll love to explore Insta, so you can have a look at the old photos of us coming off of Rameses Revenge.
Ghost Train is gone. Ghost Train is dead. Ghost Train is a ghost.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think everyone at home is pretty much. There are some people that were really annoyed last week that Slammer got through, so I think they feel avenged.
Yeah.
Do people think that the curse at Towers will be the Ghost Train? So in other words, once you've done it once or twice, it becomes boring because you know exactly what's going to happen.
James doesn't like it. I like it.
I don't like the curse.
Didn't think you like.
I don't.
Seriously,
like the
James, you don't like it.
No, it's boring. It's like, oh,
You'd rather
God.
have different things.
You need
Yeah.
to get out more.
Oh no! Don't say that.
Ooh.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I like the big head where the mouth opens and it brings out all of the fog or something. It brings
Yeah.
out fog, that big head at the end of Curse. I really like that.
Well, no, I
like
understand where
the
people are coming from with you know where everything is.
Hmm.
Like I'm getting ready because there's certain effects that I like better than others, so I'll get ready to look at that direction when it comes up.
Ooh.
Is
But
there
the fact
anyone-
you know which direction to look at is my point. It's
Yeah.
always changing.
There's only one thing I like about the Curse.
Scary.
It's nowhere
Don't
near
you-
scary enough,
say
is
it's not
it?
There's only one thing I like about the Curse.
Go on,
What's,
go on,
what's
Darren.
that, Daryl?
There's only one thing I like about the Curse, and that is the Fleam Duck.
Oh, here we go.
Well, Daryl,
You
next
love
week we've
classic.
got two sort of water rides: Bubbleworks versus Toyland Tours. I don't know if
I've
Daryl's
done
ridden
both
any
of
of those.
them, so I have ridden both of them.
Oh, you've
Finally,
ridden
I've ridden
Toyland Tours
both
as well?
rides
Amazing.
that we're going to debate on, and honestly, this is going to be a good debate for next week.
Yeah, so everyone's got to get it ready.
Everyone tune in next Monday at 7 o'clock.
I've got to plug some other stuff, but
Give us
before I
that.
do that, here's the bracket. And obviously, the week after next will be discussing G-Force and the Wild Mouse at Blackpool, and there's the other semi-final on the other side. It's going to be a three-way. Yeah, it's going to be a tough decision next week.
Mm.
I
Okay,
thought
more
Bubble
tougher.
works, but now I'm just like, I don't know actually, because yeah, tough decision. But
Ooh.
I also want to plug. Is your vlog going up tonight, Sarah?
Yes, it is. James is going to do it, so it might be 8:30.
Okay, it's going live tonight, but part one I've linked in the description.
Yes, part one's already up.
Yeah.
And
I've
part,
just had my instructions
yeah.
for the night, obviously.
And on Thursday we've got Surfer Girl 326 and Bloom and Cheeser, also known as Sherry and Richard. They're coming on because we've got US May. We did February USA. Now we're doing US May.
Yeah.
So we've got some USA guests, and
Good to get to know.
and there's a
you.
giveaway as well. But I say details in description. It's just a link to the Instagram post, and the details are in that description. But if you want to, you basically just have to tell us which ride you think is going to win the whole bracket.
I'm sorry, I just read eye coasters.
Yeah, he's drunk.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I don't know if iCoast seen the other episodes. Go and see the other episodes.
Yeah.
The series playlist is in the description. Go watch them all.
So he's joining every Monday, eye coaster, because it's been really
It's
good having
really,
you on. Actually,
What about having these people on?
that
We've got
as
all-
well. But I'm
We've
just
got
saying,
all
like,
your links in the description.
the past previous ones I've not actually seen eye coaster, so it's
But
nice for him to
what
turn
I'll
up.
do quickly before we wrap up, I'll go through each of you. Is there anything else you want to plug, James and Sarah, other than that vlog?
Obviously, you're over at Chessington. Yeah, Chessington aren't you, at the moment.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Mouse Scoop on Friday, 6:30.
Yeah.
All the Disney news.
Awesome.
And yeah, Joe and Ella, is there anything you want to plug quickly?
No, we haven't posted it. We haven't done anything in such a long time, so we need to get back on it. I've recently started a new job, so it's yeah, I've been preoccupied. But yes, we will be visiting Chessington soon.
Yeah.
To do Manual Mayhem. We'll likely
love
be going to
that.
Thorpe Park soon
You'll
as well.
love Manual Mayhem, Joe. Trust
Yeah, we're
me.
very
You'll
excited to
be
go on it.
surprised. I rode it twice today.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay,
Dan
very
in
cool.
the chat wrote it 10 times, so he's got bragging rights.
Wow.
All right, we're all chasing Daniel then.
Yeah.
That's the,
Oh, hang on a minute. What was I say? If Court Crew does not win,
If Corkscrew
Overall,
does
you
not
can-
win overall, you can all blast Andy on Splash Battle.
oh
But I'm sure if Corkscrew doesn't win, he's going to say that Laura's typed that instead.
dear.
David, have you got anything you want to plug?
No, I've not really got anything I want to plug. I had a good weekend at Blackpool this weekend, and it was nice to get back on Valhalla.
And Daryl, do you want to speak to your fans?
I know. I had about at least 30 odd people asking for pictures today. It's unbelievable.
Were you in the banana suit?
Sorry?
Were you in the banana suit today?
No, I didn't take it today. No.
Oh, really?
No,
And
I
you still
was in a
got...
rush today. Honestly, Mondays are the worst days to do anything. It really is. But I managed to get some time off. Sort of today, really. But But no, I managed to get down there today despite the traffic. No, my vlog from Alton Towers last week is now online. And my vlog from Chessington today will be up on Wednesday.
Are you doing Mardi Gras at the weekend?
I'm doing Mardi Gras at the weekend in the
Yeah.
banana costume as per usual.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
You'll
I
be
think
there.
we're all
I don't know.
I
most
should
there,
be
aren't
there.
we?
I don't know. Is
Christmas
Sarah going
there.
on Saturday?
Yeah, James doesn't know this, but we are going.
All right.
Yay!
So I know a lot of people are going. Yeah.
Joe and Nella, are you going?
For Mardi Gras,
Yeah, Alton Towers.
no, it was so difficult for us to get up there, honestly. But,
I'm going to the Thorpe Park one the following day.
Yeah, well, we'll try and get down for the Thorpe Park
Yeah, do
one.
Thorpe Park one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going on the Sunday.
Whoa, that's a lot of driving, Daryl.
Yeah.
It's not.
Christina Jones just said, we are.
Yeah, Christopher Jones will be there, and Ben Holly will be there, and iCoaster might be
Ginger
there.
Brown's going to be there as well.
I'm so excited.
But yeah, you need to catch up the series playlist in the description, I believe.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, if we wrap up there next week, we've got a pretty good one because I picked all these rides for the bracket, but I used a random number generator to pick the quarterfinal matchup. So it's interesting. Bubbleworks and Toyland Tours are together.
I can't wait for this one. I really can't wait.
I can't wait for Daryl's opinion. He's going to be stuck again and go deadlock, and I go, no, you got to vote first. You got to vote first next week, Daryl.
No, I will be voting first. Yeah, but I've got some interesting facts about both of the rides.
Oh, don't ruin it now.
People don't know
That's the
about.
hook for next week.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say?
I just want to say thank you to all our lovely guests that have actually joined us as well on our show. So thank you again, Joe, Ella,
And look at their
Daryl,
links.
James, Sarah, and David. Just obviously all the links are in the description. And thank you everyone in the chat for joining in as well as on our polls. So much love to you all.
Yeah, and come back on Thursday at 7 p.m.
Come back on Thursday.
I just thought I'd plug that again.
Because you know what that means. Anyway.
Do you know the catchphrase? Does Daryl? Do you know the catchphrase?
Kind of. Do you want me to end it?
Yeah.
So for now, that's the end of the video.
Our catchphrase, not yours.
The end of the catchphrase.
David, do you know it?
It's something about "we'll see you on the other side." I'm trying to think of it.
Oh,
That sounds ominous.
Go straight.
Is it
Rameses Revenge on the other side?
Is it see you in the review because we're gone?
Oh,
Yeah.